You're listening to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, presented by Brandon Elliott. This show will be going over all aspects of real estate investing and is intended to educate, motivate, and prepare you to take action on your first or next real estate investment. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Thank you for listening and enjoy.
What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast. I am your host, Brandon Elliott, and I am privileged to be able to be one-on-one with you guys today. In this episode, I really wanted to cover a topic that has been coming up on a regular basis recently within our business. Now, you guys might know that obviously we are real estate investors, and we've been doing this for the last 4 or 5 years plus at this point, but we've also created a credit business, and we have several different components that actually make up this credit business, right? We have our credit education online courses, which you can find at creditcounselelite.com. We also have authorized users, Tradeline, that we obviously help out people when it comes down to building up their credit. And I'm going to talk more about this in just a moment. And then we also have our credit repair, do it for you, either 24-hour hard inquiry removal on Experian, or we have generated letters that we send out on your behalf to be able to remove anything and everything and get the ideal goal and credit profile that you desire. So with that being said, I've been having a ridiculous amount of customers come in with all of these components with credit right now. And with Tradelines in particular is what I want to talk about. So authorized users, right? Tradeline companies, it's been a business for the last 30 plus years. It's not going away anywhere or anytime soon. And it's something that can truthfully help boost up your credit profile, your score, your FICO within less than 30 days. Honestly, it can be within just a day or so if you get added on at the right time, right before the statement closing date, that is. And it can boost it up 100 plus points in just a few days, which is amazing. And something that, people see the value in, because obviously that's tremendous. You can help increase your score so quickly so you can qualify for anything and also get the best of the best rates, which obviously that's everybody's goal, right? Save you thousands upon thousands over the lifetime of your loans that you're applying for. But also, this is something that people want to participate in because it's an amazing investment, but they don't know exactly the truth behind it or the insides and outs. And it is very crucial to know exactly the type of account that you're looking for when it comes down to the age as well as the credit line in general, because if you are slightly shy of what you actually need, then you're going to be in the same boat. You're going to be in the same situation that you are currently, not getting the desired results that you're looking for, and therefore you just invested this money into an authorized user position, but you're not actually getting the results that you're looking for, right? So I'm going to cover exactly what I'm talking about and dive into this just so we can get a better understanding of it and see if this makes sense to you, if it's needed for your credit profile currently, and if we can save you a bunch of money, save you a bunch of time, headache, and stress behind that to boost up your score as quickly as possible, to be able to get the best of the best rates and approve for everything, then that's what we're here to do. And that's what I'm super excited to be able to educate you today, motivate you, and show you how you can do it yourself. So without further ado, let's dive into some live examples here. And if you guys are just tuning in on the audio, then I do apologize, but you guys can always check us out on YouTube as well, Brandon Elliott Investments. We're going to put this up there for you, give you a better view of this, but I'm also going to try to be as verbal as possible and really paint the picture for you. So if you're driving to work or driving around listening to this podcast, that you are getting the most value out of it. So we are on here on our screen. We are showing Credit Karma. It's just an easy outlet that you can get great education from. I've mentioned this several times on other podcasts. On Credit Karma, it shows TransUnion and Equifax. And if you go to the top left corner, if you're on your computer, it's going to be my overview, and then you highlight that. It pops down 2 different options. You go to score details, and then you scroll down to the 6 boxes. Now, authorized users are amazing because they actually help you out in 3 boxes, 3 categories, 3 boxes out of the 6, right? So, which actually make up 55% of your FICO. That's why it's so freaking crucial to be educated on this stuff and see how much value it can truly bring you in such a short time frame. Let me just back up a second. Anybody listening to this, you might be thinking to yourself, what the heck is an authorized user? What is a trade line? Basically, a trade line is an account. It can be a credit card, and that's what we're talking about in particular, but it can also be, a mortgage, an auto loan, and so forth. And basically, as an authorized user, you are either a cosigner or, in particular, we're talking only regarding credit cards in this particular situation. Basically, an authorized user is somebody that is being added to the main credit card account holder's credit profile. And once they're on that particular card, it's just only that card. For example, if I have 10 credit cards with all different types of banks, and I add you as an authorized user to my Chase credit card or my Discover credit card, then that's the only card that's going to pop up on your credit profile when my statement closing date comes around. So whatever my Discover credit card profile has on it, whether it's been late, whether I've always paid on time, a 0 balance, a maxed out balance, whatever that profile has on that particular card, that's what's going to get reported onto your profile. So as you can imagine, this can either help you or hurt you. And that's why it's very crucial to be educated on this stuff, because I'm all for going the free route of friends, family, people in your circle. But if they're uneducated and you don't educate them properly, then it can actually hurt you as much as it could potentially help you. And ideally, we want to help you. But if you're getting the free route, then your parents might have a maxed out balance one month. It might be good right now, but next month it might be very high, right? And that's going to hurt your utilization, put you in the red category. Or it could be a brand new credit card, and that's no good either. Or they might get a late payment out of nowhere, and then that's really going to crush you. So the good news is you can always remove these authorized users if they ever hurt you in the future, but we want to try to eliminate as much of that chaos and headache in the beginning by utilizing trusted, sellers, authorized user sellers that know the game, understand it, and play by the rules when they are selling and turning this more into a business, right? So let's go back to these 3 out of the 6 boxes. We've talked about all 6 of these in the past. If you need any clarification or better understanding of it, I recommend listening to some of our podcasts previously going over these 6 boxes, or dive into Credit Karma itself and just click on each box, view details. It's going to give you a heck of a lot of information that's going to be able to really get a better understanding of what you're looking at, right? So these 3 out of the 6 boxes that make up, that help out when you add an authorized user is going to be your credit card use, which is your utilization. That's a high impact. That's 30% of your FICO, which is huge. And then your medium impact would be the credit age. That's another box. That makes up 15% of your FICO. And then the last box that it actually helps out with, or could hurt, is the total accounts section, which is a low impact. That is 10% of your FICO. Now, in this category, it's never going to hurt the more that you add on there, because at the end of the day, you want to have more accounts than less. You actually want to have 21 plus accounts, mixed use, meaning they want to see personal loans, student loans, mortgages, auto, retail cards, like shops, and then credit cards. That's 6 different accounts that they're looking for mixed use. But even if you have only credit cards, they still want to see 21 plus accounts to put you in the best category. And that, it only makes up 10%, but a lot of people find themselves in that old way of thinking, those myths out there to only have 1 to 3 credit cards, maybe, keep a couple on emergency and that's it. That will actually hurt you because it shows that you're not utilizing enough credit. So you want to have 21 plus accounts. In total, as you can tell, 10%, 15%, and 30%, that's 55% of your FICO can just be manipulated with an authorized user. So this is very, very crucial. So you want to get your total accounts up to 21 plus. If you're not there, adding authorized users, you do the math. If you're at total accounts right now of 15, you need another 6 authorized users to be able to boost your total accounts up to put you in the best category. Now, credit age, that makes up 15%. You actually, to get in the best category, you actually want to be at 9 years plus. Now, the credit age is so crucial, and most people find themselves struggling with this. It's not, the rule of thumb, but it is a majority of people find themselves struggling here because if you're just starting to focus on your credit, how to build it, how to be able to maximize it potentially to the extreme, then some people are getting brand new credit cards or just starting out, meaning their average credit age is very young, it's very fresh. And anything under 5 years, you're actually in the red, right? Anything under a year or 2 years, it's really, really struggling. It's super hard to get any credit besides super beginner credit cards. So what you want to do is add older authorized users. How they come up with the average credit age is simple. It's just simple math. It's adding all of your total accounts together and then the age wise, and then it's going to divide by that many accounts that you just added together to get the average credit age, right? It's the median credit age. So let me just click on this and show you guys. So once you actually go to your Credit Karma, it shows it very easily for you. The average credit age, you click on it, and then you can scroll down and you can see all of these accounts. It's got the name to the left, and then to the right, it actually has the age next to it. 45 years and 6 months, 25 years and 7 months. This is a client of ours that we actually helped him add all of these authorized users. He only had, I believe it was 6 total accounts of his own. We added a boatload to be able to get to 21 plus and also get him huge credit age of, one card, just 45 years and 6 months. That's huge. These can help out tremendously because you take all of these accounts, the age to it, and you just add it all up. So you do the math, you add it all up, and then afterwards, what's cool is you can see right here, he actually got a auto loan just a month ago after we raised his score over 120 points. I believe it was almost closer to 200. So I don't want to give you any false information though. I guarantee it was over 120 points, which is amazing. And now he was able to get a new auto loan, and now he's about to do a mass apply, which is super exciting. So these are some of the things that can truthfully help you tremendously as long as you're doing it correctly, right? So adding all of these accounts together, and then once you get the total years and months behind it, then you divide it by that many accounts that you just added together, and you should get the average credit age, which they help you out and they do the math for you. But it should be right here in this example, it's 8 years and 11 months because he just got that new auto loan. So messed up his age just a little bit, which is awesome because we were so above and beyond. Now, this is super crucial and very helpful. This is just TransUnion. We can go to Equifax and you can see we're at 9 years, 5 months. Now, this can help out tremendously, and it's something everybody should be aware of, bottom line, right? But basically, those two right there, that makes up 25%. 15 for the age, 10 for the total accounts. We're at 25, and then 30 is the credit card utilization, the credit card use. Very, very, very crucial. You want to make sure that your authorized users, for example, say if your total accounts in general, your total credit lines are only $1,000. Let's say you have two credit cards and they're both $500 each. You have 300 on both of them. You're at $600 balance at the statement closing date, and your total credit limit is only 1,000. That means you're at 60% of your current utilization. Basically, that is going to put you in the red category. It's going to hurt you drastically. You're at 50% or over, which puts you in the red, and could drop your points 50 plus points instantly, very quickly on your credit profile, hurting you drastically. So what you can do is when you add authorized users, say you add one authorized user that has a $10,000 credit limit on one card, you add it to your account. Now that good credit profile is showing on there, and basically that new card is 10,000. You get, plus your credit, your two credit cards, which is 500 each. Now you're at 11,000 of total credit lines, and do the math. Now your balance is $600 of 11,000. That's less than 6%. That's like 3 or 4%, which is amazing. That can help out drastically because you just went from 60%. Now you're under 9%, putting you in the best category, which makes up 30% of your FICO. So you're going to be from red to green now in these color categories. So that's going to help you out drastically. That's going to help you keep your points up and your FICO up instead of dropping your score drastically, right? But you do also want to keep in mind when you're adding authorized users, it's a must that there's never been any late payments on that credit card. Nothing ever derogatory on that particular credit card that you're being added to. They can have bankruptcies, a bunch of late payments, and all other areas of their credit profile, except for that one particular card. Now, that particular card, it needs to have no late payments, nothing derogatory, and basically always paid on time. Ideally, you're always looking for the highest credit line possible. And you're also looking for the oldest credit card possible, right? Because as you build out your credit profile, even if you are at the perfect credit profile, you have huge credit lines, it should be a goal for everybody to constantly get more authorized users so that eventually you can have maybe 3 million in credit lines or higher. They could all be authorized users, except you have 1 million of yourself under your personal credit profile. So if you have an additional 3 million of authorized users, then you're at 4 million in total. You can easily utilize your million fully maxed out, and you're still only going to be at 25%, putting you in the green category as well, because you're only utilizing 1 million out of the full 4 million. Does that make sense? I mean, that's how crucial this can be, because you can utilize yours fully maxed out in any type of investment, real estate, as you guys are fully aware that we utilize our credit heavily into real estate or hard money lending or in many different areas, right? So any type of business that you have, you can utilize your credit to get to that next level or fuel the fire and really start getting some momentum building up. So everybody's goal should be, as they're building their credit, getting huge credit lines themselves, should be getting additional authorized users to get huge credit lines. I'm talking huge credit lines, as high as possible. That's a never ending game, right? But keep in mind, it always needs to be paid on time, never late on that account, nothing derogatory. You want to make sure that you're above the 21 plus accounts to help out in the total account section. And then your age, you just got to do the math. At the end of the day, there's plenty of ways to do it. You can simply do the old school way of actually, adding up all your credit age, dividing it by that many, accounts you just added together to see what the average credit age is, and just play around with the numbers, see if you added another account or you did a mass apply. You just applied for 10 new accounts. They're all going to be fresh, 1 month old. You got 10 new 1 month old credit cards that you're going to add to your average credit age. You're going to want to see how many more authorized users you need with big age to be able to average it out and get it back to that 9 years plus to put you in the best category possible. So this is very crucial. If you guys need, I'm willing to give a free gift today. All you got to do is subscribe to the podcast, Ready, Set, Go, Real Estate Investing Podcast. Leave a review. Let me know what you guys think about it and share this out with somebody. I'm going to give you guys a calculator. Let me show you guys the calculator. I'm going to give you this calculator that helps out tremendously. And let me break it down to you. Basically, we got the average credit age up top here. And then we got total accounts. Ideally, you want to get to 21 plus. And then here's a quick little chart, to make it easy for you. Let's say, for example, you have a credit card that is 5 years and 3 months. That means you're going to put over here 5 years and then 3 months. You go to 3 months and it's 0.25 decimal, right? So 5.25 and then boom. And then you're done with it. You move on to the next. So as you can see, it adds it all up for you, which is awesome. Up to 21 accounts. Now, as you can see, there's 21 accounts to the left here, but I just removed 15 through 21. Let's see what we have up top here now. So the total accounts is down to 14 accounts in total now, bringing out the average credit age because they just added all 14 of these accounts together. And that's what the average credit age is now. It's 6 years and 0.6, right? So this can be very helpful. It can be very easy to be able to keep track of this and to do the math of just coming into your, Credit Karma to your average credit age and running through this. We got 45 years and 6 months. That's 45.5. And then we just type it in here. Boom, 45.5. And move on to the next. It does the math for you, quick and easy. So if you guys are looking for something like that, would love to give that to you. All you need to do is simply subscribe to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast. Leave a review. Let me know what you guys think and share this out to somebody. And if you're watching this on YouTube, do the same thing. And all I need is for you to send a screenshot to me. You can do it on Facebook or Instagram. Instagram, it's Brandon Elliott Investments. Facebook, it's facebook.com/Brandon Elliott Investor. And once you do that, I'd be more than glad to help you guys out with that. Send it over to you to make life easier, quicker, faster, and just be able to get the best results for you. Now, you might be asking yourself, all the different moving pieces, is there anything negative to this? Or how can I actually get the free ones? Because at the end of the day, authorized users, it is a business, right? And this can help out so many different people. That's why it is a business, because there's education behind it, there's guidance, and there's ways that it could help you, but also could hurt you. So you want to be on the right track. You want to make sure that you're dealing with the right people and make sure that they aren't going to be late. They're not going to utilize heavily on their credit card and forget to pay by the statement closing date. The statement closing date is the only time out of the whole month, out of the 30-day cycle, that you ever care about. Not necessarily the due date. You care about the due date if you're dealing with a seller or somebody that potentially might be late, going through financial struggles, utilizing their credit and totally forgetting or not paying their bills on the due date. Then yes, be scared, be worried about the due date. But most people are good in that category. And we're not talking about those people for this circumstance. We're talking about the statement closing date to make sure that your balance is paid off in full, or at the very least, 9% or below, because this is going to help out you, right? So at the end of the day, you're basically leasing these authorized users. And what this looks like is, say, as an authorized user to one of my credit cards, my Discover credit card, well, all you're going to do is give me your full name, your date of birth, and your social. Okay? At that point, I'm going to add it. I'm going to either jump online to my credit card company profile, say discover.com, and then go underneath that credit card, add an authorized user, click that button, or simply call in. It takes about 5 minutes, talk to an operator, anybody can do it. And within 5 minutes, you can add an authorized user. What this looks like is you add their full name, their date of birth, their social, and then they might ask you for 2 additional items. These 2 additional items are going to be potentially definitely your address and then also the phone number. Now, for those particular 2 things, because I'm the seller of the authorized user, I'm the main account holder, I'm actually going to put mine. I'm going to put my address and my cell phone number, meaning this new account, this new credit card is going to come to my address. It's going to have my phone number on it. So they're not going to be reaching out to the buyer by any means. And it's going to have your name on it. So when I get it in the mail within about 10 days, I'm going to call, activate the card, then I'm going to cut it up and throw it away. Okay? Because you're the buyer, and within our group, we have sellers, we have buyers that come in. They don't connect. Therefore, the buyer won't have any idea or any information about the seller. So they're not going to know their address, the main account holder's information, security codes, PINs, all this other stuff that, as I'm sure you're aware of, when you call your credit card company, they ask you for a detailed list of description to make sure and to verify your information, to verify your authenticity, right? To make sure that you are who you are. Basically, this secures people knowing that the buyer can't do anything without the authorization of the seller, right? And therefore, the company is not even going to reach out to the buyer because they don't have any of your information besides your full name, your date of birth, and your social. The address is going to come to me, the buyer or the seller. So therefore, I'm going to get the new card, activate it, cut it up, throw it away, can't be used, good to go. And it's going to be leased for, let's say, 2 months. It's all negotiable within our group, but typically online, you'll find 2 months is the average lease. It can go longer, up to 6 months and so forth. It's all negotiable. And at the end of the day, it can be a month, but when you are added as an authorized user, what this means is basically there's going to be security for the seller and the buyer, meaning there's nothing negative that can actually come out from this. Like, not those horror stories of the buyer potentially getting access to the seller's credit card and doing anything fraudulent. Because once again, that would be fraudulent. That would be fraud being committed on that credit profile. And as we all know, there is actual protection, fraud protection with all credit card companies, that all you would need to simply do is call into the credit card company, say, hey, I did not authorize this. This person might be an authorized user, but they didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't give permission for this to actually take place. That's not what happened. And then you will get a full reimbursement right away as they start the investigation. It's basic. There's no problems with it. It's just common standards. And then you're good to go. That's the worst case scenario. Like I said, that would be fraud. So it doesn't happen. There's no potential from it. And it's basically, that's where you're protected. By not sending the new card to the buyer, address or having their phone number on it and allowing them to get access to the card. They don't have access, therefore you are fully protected. Keep in mind that although it's just a lease for let's say it's 2 months, actually it's going to help out all 3 boxes for those 2 months, which is great. But after those 2 months, it doesn't affect all 3 boxes anymore. It only affects 2, which is great because it still affects your total accounts, because that doesn't go away. It just goes into the closed account section, but that still adds value to your total accounts. So it's not like you're at 21 total accounts and then once they close it out after you're done leasing it, it drops down to 20. That's not the case. It stays at 21. So it adds value there. Plus, your average credit age doesn't go away. It still actually grows with you for the next 10 years, which is great. So for the next 10 years, even though you leased it and it's a closed account, they removed you from it after 2 months, it's going to still grow in credit age over the next 10 years, which is tremendous. So that's a huge, huge value behind it. And it's a great investment, right? So the only box that it doesn't affect anymore out of the three is, as you guys can guess it, it's the last one, which is the utilization, which makes up 30%. That's a big key right there. Unfortunately, it doesn't affect that anymore because you don't have access to that credit line anymore. Therefore, they take that option away because it is in the closed section now. Therefore, if you were at, for our previous example, 11,000 in total credit lines, you're back down to just 1,000 in credit lines. So make sure that if you're struggling with a high balance right now, then you either do a mass apply or you try to negotiate a longer distance in leasing so that you can figure out some other solutions. So this investment, like I said, it will affect, even after you close out the lease for 10 years, that's 25% of your FICO being in the total account section, as well as your average credit age, which is tremendous. And that can be super, super helpful. Now, let's talk about where you can find these accounts, right? And first, before I go into that, let's say if you're leasing the account, they close it out a couple months later, and then everything's going great, fine and dandy, and then out of nowhere, this person has a huge balance out of nowhere or gets a bunch of late payments. This is going to start reporting onto your credit profile, hurting you, right? Now, what you want to do at that point is simply call into the 3 credit bureaus and get it removed or dispute it online. Very simple, very easy to do. It will be removed. Say you were an authorized user, you did not ever have access to the credit card. It's not your credit profile. You're not the main account holder. Therefore, remove it. It's hurting your credit profile right now, and they will remove it for you. Okay? Just to keep that out of the way. I know that's a question that you might be thinking to yourself. Now, where you can find these authorized users, right? You can simply go online. You can go online and see 30 plus different companies that have been doing it for 20, 30 plus years, rated A plus with the Better Business Bureaus, that you can get education from. And I actually recommend this. If you're looking for authorized users for free within your circle of influence, your family, friends, people that know, like, and trust you already, coworkers, so forth, then what you want to do is educate the individual. Let them know it's not going to hurt them or affect them by any means, right? You want to let them know that, first and foremost, you're not going to get a credit card. You're not going to get the authorized user credit card at all. You're going to tell them, I'm going to give you my full name, my date of birth, my social, and then you're going to put, as the seller, as you're adding me as an authorized user, you're going to put your own phone number and your own address. So therefore it goes to you, you call, you activate it. Once it gets to you, cut it up, throw it away. We'll stay on there for a couple months, and then you can remove me. It's just to help out my credit profile for a few months. We'll be good to go. Now, you can also Google pros and cons of adding an authorized user. There's literally no cons on there except for the simple fact of, if the individual gets that credit card, you're liable for it. Therefore, keep in mind, you're not going to give them the credit card, okay? And like I said, if the worst case scenario, they ever got the credit card for some amazing, above and beyond odd reason, then it would be fraud if anybody did anything fraudulent, right? So you just make that claim and you're secured, which is amazing. So basically take this 3-step process or 4-step process. 1, educate the person, let them know you're not going to get a credit card by any means. Number 2, Google pros and cons of adding an authorized user. That should help eliminate some of the fear and the unknown. And keep in mind, you're not going to get the card. And then number 3 is Google all of these trade lines that you can purchase from. You can simply Google credit card trade lines, purchasing credit card trade lines, or authorized users. And then once that pops up, you're going to see a huge list of all these different companies. You can search on there. You can call them and be interested. Ask questions as if you are a seller, a potential seller, or a potential buyer, and this is a brand new world to you, like it is. And they will educate you. They'll spend the time with you, educate you, walk you through it. And I highly encourage you to do this a few times yourself to really get educated on it, see how you can potentially make some money. And then also, you can get your parents, your family member, whatever, that person you're trying to educate, and get them on that phone call afterwards so that they can get educated as well. That should literally eliminate 90% of any unknown, any fear, because these guys are rated A+ with Better Business Bureau, been doing it forever, True Business doing it, and there's many of them doing it. So by calling a few of these, getting educated, understanding the whole process, it should be able to give enough education to be able to eliminate that fear, which is ideally what we're looking for. And if it can be a win-win situation and help people out, then it's a no-brainer. And then lastly, number 4 is basically just call up the back of your credit card company that you're looking to be added to, or whatever the situation is, and simply get educated by them. Keep in mind that there's always new workers, new employees, new associates. So you might not want to get, that full guidance or that information from that brand new person. You can ask if you'd like. Otherwise, try to speak to a manager and let them know, hey, I'm thinking about adding this person as an authorized user, or I'm about to get added as an authorized user to this individual's credit card. Will this affect them either way? I'm doing it simply to boost up my credit profile. Okay? Now, once you understand this process and you get educated by all these different platforms that I just listed out, this will help out tremendously. So I hope you're taking notes right there. If not, you're definitely going to want to rewind this and listen to this 5-minute part right there to be able to get educated and just get that whole process. It's going to eliminate that fear, and it's going to be able to allow you to start being able to make some money if you're a seller, or save you a ton if you are a buyer by, helping your personal credit profile to get approved for anything, as well as get the best of the best rates, which will save you thousands, which is obviously the main goal here. Now, obviously, you can purchase from any of these companies online. I've done that in the past. When I was first getting started, I've done the same thing. I was a seller, and I still am a seller on some of these sites. But the simple truth is, and this is why we started our own Tradeline company, because we have a lot of buyers coming in, and we have sellers as well that are looking to make money and save money if you're a buyer. But a lot of these companies online have a huge middleman, hefty cost. I mean, at the end of the day, they are legitimate businesses. They got taxes, they got employees, they got marketing, they got budgeting, spending, all this other stuff that, a lot of overhead to make their prices very high. So, for example, one of my credit cards, it sells online for $1,200, and I literally get a one-time payment of $125. And that's for a 2-month lease. So as you guys are probably racking through your head like, wow, that's a huge up mark right there. And it really is, like I said, I don't hate on them. They have a lot of expenses themselves, but I quickly realized, hey, I could sell mine easily for $400 to $600, save the buyer half price or more, and be able to make more money myself. And I can negotiate how long to lease it out to them and so forth. So that's what we did. We made it more of a win-win situation for the sellers to be able to make more money, and then also the buyers to save more money and to make a bigger impact. And keep in mind, with these online companies, at the end of the day, a bunch of your credit cards online selling them, but you're also competing with a huge amount of others, thousands of others, right? So at the end of the day, I've had some of my credit cards on there for over a year and only get one bite on there. So I make $125 throughout the whole year, when I know that I have anywhere from 5 to 10 authorized user positions that I can fill up at any given time on each of my cards. So it's always best to go the Chinese method of simply doing, selling for less but selling more of it, right? Instead of trying to sell for that, $1,000 to $1,200 range, like they're doing online, and only maybe selling one, a year, right? So I think it's a brilliant model within our group of what we created for the buyers and the sellers to make it more affordable, to make it overall save a ton and be able to do more frequency, more transactions to help out more people and to get more money in your pocket. Now, with Corona, the whole pandemic right now worldwide, the prices have dropped tremendously for the sellers and the buyers, which is, it's a good and crazy situation at the same time. But at the end of the day, this means that we can actually help impact your credit score for a lot less. Your buck goes a hell of a lot further right now, which is awesome, to be able to make a huge impact on your credit profile. So if you are a buyer looking for some trade lines, looking for either some age or total credit lines, then please reach out. If you are a seller and you have some amazing credit cards in your credit profile in your wallet right now, and you got very old cards, older than 5 years plus, or just huge credit lines, 10, 20, 30,000 or more, that's what we're looking for. And we're looking to make it a win-win situation. So reach out. Would love to help out you guys. At the end of the day, it can't happen without you. So we have a huge list of sellers right now, 60 plus, that we're keeping very busy, each and every one of them, because we have a lot of buyers coming in, right? We have a lot of buyers from the podcast, from creditcounselelite.com, and we have a lot of clients that we're helping out for real estate and credit in general. So this is something that can truly make a huge impact, and we're just super excited to be able to supply that and help fill that void. So if you are thinking to yourself, I am a buyer, then this is what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to do the math on exactly how many cards that you need to get to that 21 plus for your total accounts, how much credit line you need as far as to get your utilization down to 9% or below. And then how much age do you need? By doing the math, adding what you have together currently, and then divide it by that many accounts that you just added together, and then do the math. If you put in a variable of an additional credit card, that an authorized user that was, an additional 20,000 in availability for credit limit, and then also, 10 years age, then you divide it by that, just one additional more account. Will this actually help out? And if it does, then cool, that's the type of account that you need, right? If it makes life easier to utilize our calculator first and foremost, please do us a favor, reach out. All you got to do is send me a screenshot on social media or at facebook.com/Brandon Elliott Investor, or Instagram, it's Brandon Elliott Investments. And once you send a screenshot of you subscribing to the podcast, leaving a review, and then sharing it out to one person, at least some of your friends, that would be great. I'll send you the calculator absolutely free, and then you guys can be able to see what exactly you need very easily. If you are a seller, then reach out to me. Let me know exactly the type of card that you have, the bank that it's with, like the name of the credit card, the bank that it's with, how old that account is, like when you opened it, the type of credit line there currently is, and make sure that there's no late payments on that account, nothing derogatory. And if it's a good fit, then I'll let you know what it's worth, and I'll show you exactly how much freaking money you can make. We actually made one guy $21,000 within 1 month. 1 month. And we've done this numerous times with so many other clients, so many other sellers, and making a huge impact with a lot of buyers. So if you're looking to make some additional passive income, it takes about 5 minutes to add an authorized user, and it's very secure. We have agreements, contracts with people. This is something that I would love to share with you. It's been a topic a lot of people have bringing up to me recently that they're clueless about. They're just trying to be added to any type of card. That's not how you want to go about it. It's simple math that you want to do the math to see exactly what you need, because like I stated in the beginning of this, you don't want to pay for a 19-year-old card when realistically you needed a 20-year-old card, and now you're still in the same position, but you just spent maybe $1,000 or whatever it may be. Spent a couple $100, you invested in this, but you're in the same situation and therefore you're not able to get your goals handled. And also another last topic before we get out of here, when you're adding authorized users, you should have goals in mind. My goal for everybody is to always just be adding more authorized users, bigger credit lines, and keep your age up to 9 years plus. So therefore you get approved for everything. And for the bigger credit lines, the more credit lines you build onto, then the more you can max out and utilize your own personal for investments, and it's not going to affect your score. You're going to be under 30% or ideally 9% or below and really be in the best category, right? So that's should be everybody's goal, to get it as high as possible in credit lines. But also it should be a goal of every person when you're getting a bunch of authorized users to do a mass apply. You can do a mass apply on your own every 6 months. If you're interested in that, reach out to us at creditcounselelite.com. You'll be able to see step by step how we can help you with our online courses to be able to really be able to make a difference and do what other people are charging to do for you, $3,500 to do a mass apply. We give you the 10-step process on how you can do it yourself and do the mass apply every 6 months, get 10 plus credit cards, over 100,000 in new credit lines, closer to 150 to 200,000 in most situations. So that can be extremely crucial and very helpful. But you want to make sure that your credit profile is in the best category first and foremost. And as you're leasing these authorized users, your goal should be, once these clear on your credit profile and your score rises, then you do the mass apply, and then you can remove all the hard inquiries. Your leases for your authorized users stop, but your average credit age and your total accounts is still growing over the next 10 years. So if you guys have any questions about this, if this is overwhelming, goes over your head, whatever it may be, feel free to reach out to us. You can always do so. You can text the word credit to 609-231-9018. Would love to help you out. Let me know exactly who you are, where you're coming from, and if you have any questions regarding credit, real estate, podcasts, creditcounselelite.com, or anything in between. Would love to help out, would love to give guidance and help you out with these authorized users. So if you want to be a seller or a buyer, reach out to us and we will take care of you. So next time, guys, appreciate you all for tuning in so long, and we'll see you on the next one. God bless.
This has been another episode of Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, brought to you by Brandon Elliott. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Also, please don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Thanks again for joining.